Hello guys, welcome you all to another video, and today we are going to start with the confessional poetry. So confess means to admit, to accept, and the confessional poetry began in United States of America during the 21st century. So let's do the introduction to confessional poetry, and you can see that this is Sylvia Plath, and this is another confessional poet, maybe the Allen Ginsberg, and that is the information you can see here. What is the confessional poetry? So before I'm going to read out all these things, you can also read it from the poetryfoundation.org. Just type in by the confessional poetry and you can read all the material from here. So let's start with the confessional poetry. So confessional poetry designates a type of narrative and relic verse given impetus by the American Robert Lowell's. He has written one book, Life Studies, and it was published in 1959. You can see on your screen also the phrase confessional poetry burst into common usage in September of 1959 when the critic Emil Rosenthal coined in his review of Robert Lowell's Life Studies in the Nation. So, this confessional poetry deals with the facts and intimate mental and physical experiences of the poet's own life. Confessional poetry was written in rebellion against the demand for impersonality by T.S. Eliot and the New Critics. By its secular subject matter, it differs from religious spiritual autobiography in the lineage of Augustine's Confessions, which was written by in 400 AD, and it also differs from poems of the Romantic period representing the poet's own circumstances, experiences, and feelings, such as William Wordsworth's Tintern Abbey and Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Dejection and Ode, in the candor and the sometimes startling detail with which the confessional poet reveals private or clinical matters about himself or herself, including sexual experiences, mental anguish, and illness, experiments with drugs and suicidal impulses. Confessional poems were written by Allen Ginsberg, Sylvia Plath, Anna Sexton, John Berryman, and the American poets and other American poets. So you can see that this book, The Life Studies, which contain poems that unsparingly detail Lowell's experiences of marital strife, generational struggle, and mental illness, marked a dramatic turn in his career. The personal had always been fertile for poetry, but Lowell, Rosenthal claimed, removed the mask the previous poets had worn when writing about their own lives. The poems and life studies felt like a series of personal confidences, rather shameful that one is honor bound not to reveal. For most contemporary critics, confessional poetry marks a revolution in poetic style as well as the specific subject matter and the relationship between a poem speaker and self. And confessional poet wrote in dialect, direct, colloquial speech rhythm, and used images that reflected intense psychological experiences, often culled from childhood to battle with the mental illness or breakdown. They tended to utilize sequences emphasizing connection between poems. They grounded their work in actual events, referred to real persons, and refused any metaphorical transformation of intimate details into universal symbols. In the 1915 and 1916 decades, statured with new criticism, dictated that the poet and the speaker of a poem were never coincident. Confessional poet insisted otherwise. Their breaches in poetic and social decorum were linked. According to scholar Deborah Nelson, Lowell's innovation was to make himself available not as an abstract and universal poet but as a particular person in a particular place and time. So these are all the details of the confessional poetry, and you can read out all these things. Okay, so guys, I hope that you understood the term confessional poetry. If you didn't get it, please ask your questions in comment section. I will answer to them. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.